We're back! Well,
Here.
to the Cavalry, everybody. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. I'm doing good. I'm tired, but I got a lot of energy for the next 45 minutes.
You're already calling your shot that we're gonna go short. Yeah,
My Ben and Jerry's.
yeah. You're tired. Why are you tired? Just because it's late?
Oh, life.
Oh, that.
Yeah, 3 kids.
I forgot about that. How was
Yeah.
your big shows?
Oh, good. I just actually, I'm tired. I just got back for a run, and I was listening to the audio because.
All right, wait. Time out. I've already lost all sympathy for you. You can't be like, you cannot go, why are you tired? Oh, life. Great, grinding me down, 3 kids, And then I also voluntarily ran.
No, that I'm like tired, like my head could conk, and that's from life. My legs being achy is from that's the physical tired.
Okay.
So I'm not running, although I have not been running very much lately at all. But I was listening to the audio. Dominic sent me the audio of this weekend. It went great. Well, it was weird because Friday night was fantastic.
Yeah.
Great. Got it. I was like, oh, good. Takes the pressure off. And then Saturday night was like, it was just one of those crowds where it was like, they liked the show. They had a good time, but the energy they put out was just not
I know
what it was. And it's just like, well, that's, even if we splice some switcheroos, it'll seem off because they're just.
But you got it all on Friday, so it doesn't matter, right?
Yes. Yeah. So I think that's what we're going to go with. I mean, there were a couple where I I forgot to do the ending of a joke because it was an old joke. I forgot to do the ending, and then I scolded the audience for not laughing. And then it wasn't until I listened to it again where I was like, "Oh, of course they didn't laugh. I didn't finish it."
I was just gonna ask, like, if there are any hiccups doing the old material or not.
No, I mean, other than that one, and that wasn't even like old material from the CD. That was like an old new joke that I just kind of had stopped doing.
Yeah.
It was actually, it was when I did at your show. It was one of the Taco Bell jokes.
How could you forget one of your Taco Bell Hot 5?
Yeah, exactly.
Of your Taco Bell Caliente
Cinco.
Caliente Cinco Caliente.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, I'm happy for you, buddy. Congrats. That's good to have it done, at least.
Yeah, thanks. I'm excited. Yeah, so the sounds good, and hopefully I can start getting money and paid for.
It's so funny because this is the one thing where now I relate to sort of like an old, very successful, famous comic. Everything else we do in stand-up, that isn't the actual like gigs, because obviously we're in it for the money for like most of the gigs we take, you know what I mean? And then sometimes we just do shows that are fun. I mean we do that a lot, I think both of us. But like never have I ever done like these project type things for the money. Anytime I'm filming or recording or you're doing a sketch, or that's always like a pure shot or hoping to increase exposure.
Yeah.
Just for the love of the game, or just trying to increase but this stupid serious thing is a straight up we're re-recording old material, and it's a straight up cash grab, so it really is like it's funny. I feel like some old soulless comic going like, yeah, it's like Jennifer Coolidge at the Golden Globes. She's like, I'll do American Pie 6, 7, whatever they want. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. I was like, yeah, just whatever they can do to turn that spigot back on, I'll do it.
And these re-recordings are very unique because it's exactly that, but it also doesn't have the gravy of like, well, now I have a CD I could take on the road and sell. Like this is strictly get it done, and then it is what it is. It's out there, but like it's not like, oh, this is, my catalog. It's
Right. And you can't be like, there isn't a feeling of accomplishment afterward because you've already had that feeling.
right.
You
Yeah,
already, you know what I mean?
trying to.
It's like if I'm not comparing myself to Michelangelo, but it'd be like if you chiseled the David and they're like, okay, great, but we broke that one. So can you knock out one more of these bad boys? So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Speaking of which, did you know if you go to Italy or whatever, where the David is, you know what the David is? It's like the famous
Penis.
statue with the tiny penis. Yeah.
Tiny. That thing's huge.
Well, it's all relative. I mean, I wasn't too impressed.
Well, I was like, that's
Pulled it out right
fake.
then and there and compared. Like, let's see what this guy.
Huh?
I pulled it out right then and there and compared.
Whose was bigger?
Mine, of course.
Oh, well,
His was harder.
this was harder. It was hairier. Well, I'll give him that.
So stupid. But there is a replica of the David right outside the museum, whatever the museum is, or church. I don't know what it was.
Outside the museum that the real one's in?
The real one's inside, and there's one right outside. And when we went, there's like a long line, or it costs money to go inside. We just didn't go. I just looked at the one outside. I was like, it's the same thing, right?
Why'd you even go to Italy? You could have just looked it up online.
Yeah. Well, trust me, that's what I was saying the whole time I was there. Why are we even here? We have a Pizza Hut back home.
It's on my phone. We have a Pizza Hut.
Why do we have to come to this stupid place where everybody's smelly? That brings me to another point.
Yes.
It just made me think of something. I never brought this up before, but I went to Europe, maybe once, like right after high school, and then I don't know, maybe one other time. I remember everyone being very smelly. Did you ever travel internationally when you were younger, maybe college? Did you go overseas or anything, or do any kind of traveling? Everybody, but all I'm saying is everybody was like super like BO. That was just a thing. Anywhere you go in Europe.
Or the people you travel with?
Yeah, well, no, the people who were there. Maybe the people,
okay.
I don't know. People I travel with are always I only travel with the best smelling folks.
Okay.
Hey, you know one thing about me, I only travel with the best smelling people I can find. No, but when I used to, I say like when I used to, I went like twice.
Are you saying so both times they were smelly?
Everyone I encountered overseas, BO, on the planes and on the ferries and the subways, smelly folks.
You heard it here first, folks. Andrew says foreigners are smelly.
Well, hold on. Hold your horses. Don't jump to conclusions, because now I've done these like military tours, or gone to Europe a few times. Went to London for this Seahawks game once, and everybody smells great. They've done a complete 180. In fact, they smell way better than the average American bus or subway or plane. They're all like drenched in cologne and stuff.
Oh my God.
I don't know what happened in like 10 to 15 years. Like the word got out, the deodorant people and the cologne, and it's like spread like wildfire. Good job by Europe. Good job. I mean, they just cleaned up, and like I'm telling you, in 10 years, the whole thing. I don't hear TV people talking about that.
About them smelling at some point in the past that maybe they got wind of it.
I think I probably did a couple bits about it, early jokes.
Well, maybe that's what happened.
Yeah, I used to joke a lot about the European basketball players in the NBA. Maybe that was it.
And how they smelled, or what?
Yeah, and I just say they smelled bad or something. I don't know. It's probably xenophobic. Looking back, I might have been a little you can't say racist because they were white, but I might have been a little xenophobic.
Xenophobic. All right.
But not
It-
anymore. Now I think they smell great. So
yeah.
I'm not a xenophobe.
Yeah, you're very welcoming and very complimentary of the foreigners.
I love Xeno. I'm a xenophile.
I'm a pedophile.
I know what the title of this episode's gonna be.
Let me ask you, when you name the episodes, do you name it after we record, or do you like scan through and
I
read?
scan through. I don't have it in me to re-listen to the entire episode, but I usually just jump around and I'll
Yeah.
listen like 10 seconds. Honestly, sometimes here's a little peek behind the behind the curtain.
Yeah.
I'll literally look because you can see the little audio waves, and I can see when they're higher, and I go, oh, I bet we're laughing at something. And so then I'll click on that part and I'll listen to see if we said something funny. And it's usually just,
Is it in iMovie, or how do you see the wave file?
in iMovie. Yeah, that's how I edit it in iMovie. That's how I do all the scrupulous editing that I do on this podcast, where I put the music on the front and I put the music on the back and I put the little picture on the front and the back, and then I render it.
See, I will, the file you send me on Dropbox, I'll either put it on my phone or my computer, and I'll listen to or watch the whole thing at some point. And then in my notes, I jot down time codes.
Oh, for the clips.
And I'll be like, oh, we talked about farts, this. And then I'll go in QuickTime, chop out just that, and dump it in iMovie. And then I make the clip in iMovie that way. That way I don't have to put the whole file in iMovie.
Yeah. So you just put the parts about farts on iMovie, which is only like 80 to 90% of it. So you save some.
Right.
Yeah. That's smart.
Hey, all right. So I'm going to give you
Go ahead.
a quiz for you. Do you know who Steve Largent is?
Yes.
Who is he?
Seahawks Hall of Fame wide receiver, retired, became a congressman. Oh, you have a card? I can't. Your screen screwing up.
Disappearing. Yeah. No, my son has a card. They got or my daughter, but she showed me that.
Steve Largent. I was just having a conversation. I was just having a conversation about Steve Largent because somebody was debating, I don't know, greatest players or something. But he has you should YouTube this if you haven't seen it. He has the best clip. So when he retired, first of all, he was a white wide receiver. So already you're like, whoa, But then.
Oh, so he retired what year?
Oh, in like the 80s, probably. I think he played during the 70s and 80s, maybe. But when
they have his card?
I don't know, maybe they released it as like a part of a Hall of Fame thing or something. But when he retired, he had all the receiving records. He was like the Jerry Rice before Jerry Rice, and then Jerry Rice broke all of Steve Largent's records. So he was a very significant player. But there's a clip, you should YouTube it, of there's an interception, and then he's on the offense. So the defense has the ball, they're running back, and he runs all the way and just kills this guy, just like hits him so hard, the guy who intercepted it. But then they explain in the clip there's like a beef to that. So they go back and they show when that guy took a dirty hit on Steve Largent like a year before, and he'd been like holding on to this grudge and waiting for his chance for like a year. And then that guy intercepts it, and then this is like his only chance ever to hit this guy, and he fucking nails it. It's great. And it's like the best. You can go on YouTube
because he's on offense.
Mm-hmm. Because he's on offense, so he's never going to get a chance to hit anybody except for like this one. And what are the odds that the guy happens to intercept the ball, he happens to run back in a way to even be in a position to hit this guy, and he just crushes him. It's amazing. I think they fumbles the ball and they get the ball back. I think I might be exaggerating now, but I'm pretty sure the guy fumbles. He hits it hard. He fumbles the ball and they get the ball back. So that's, and then he became a congressman, I think, in either Nebraska or is that?
Well, now the story's getting real.
I know, but then he's a Republican too, so he's probably
Not only did he fumble it, but then he became a congressman in Nebraska.
Then he went to space. He was the first man to walk on the moon. Look it up.
He created a law so that you have to have an abortion. And so the guy who tackled him, his wife, was forced to kill their baby. Wow. What are we
Then he got the assault weapons ban lifted so that Columbine can happen.
Oh,
That's Steve Largent.
That's Steve Largent. I can't believe you never heard of him. What's the, maybe we've talked about this, but like, what is the greatest, like, is there a go-to catch or just crazy play that's just like a one-handed full field, barely, like that's just go-to ultimate football play that's on YouTube?
Yeah. Well, though it doesn't look that the one, probably the most famous play ever is they call it the Immaculate Reception, and it's the guy just died. His name's Franco Harris, and he catches a pass. So this is to win the game. And Terry Bradshaw was the quarterback at the time for the Steelers, and he throws a pass. The ball gets like batted in the air in such a way that you're like, oh, incomplete. And then Franco Harris just comes out of nowhere and like picks it up right before the ground. Right before, some people say it did touch the ground, but it didn't matter. They didn't call it that way. So he picks it up right before it touches the ground and then runs it in for a end zone. But like, I think like the ones you're looking for, like the cool YouTube ones, are just Randy Moss. Randy Moss and Odell Beckham. If you YouTube like the Odell Beckham catch where it's like one-handed behind his back like this, then now all the receivers like copy that. It's like he's like Jordan in the way where everybody's copying his catches the way people copy Jordan's dunks.
Yeah.
And Randy Moss, same thing. Like he has like some of the best. They literally have a term for it. They call it mossing someone, where you jump up and like let's say you were guarding me, and if and the ball was coming, I would literally jump up and reach over your face, grab the ball, and then take it back to me, and then make the catch.
I feel like I've seen that happen lately a bunch. Like it's crazy.
It's common now because they all are amazing athletes and they've all watched these guys growing up, I think, and copied them. But no one ever used to do this shit, you know?
Yeah.
So
did you watch the Packers game?
Of course. I didn't want to text you because I couldn't tell you I was rooting against the Packers.
Yeah, I think my daughter might have told me that. She was like, I bet Andrew, because I told her that you're a Seahawks fan when she.
Yeah, I was really rooting against you guys. I hate to say that. And I didn't. You guys weren't supposed to lose, so it was very like improbable. That,
really?
You know, so thank you for that.
Well, yeah, I did what I could, and I wasn't really too broken up about it, just because you know my philosophy. Once the game's over, I'm like, oh yeah, I don't give a shit. But also, even if we had won, we probably wouldn't. I mean,
I know,
knocked out right away early in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, and that's what's going to happen to us, I'm sure. Like we have to go. Both of us would have had to play the 49ers, who are a really good team. So you know, you never know. But I don't have the highest of hopes. But I also was rooting against you for another reason, was because I think you asked me earlier this year, you're like, is it even mathematically possible that the Packers will make the playoffs? And I was like, no, they're out of it. They're dead. And then I was like, oh, fuck, they're going to make the playoffs. And now Johnny's like, I'm pretty sure I remember you telling me they were out of it. And then I was like, phew, now I was right. They were out of it.
Because they had to win like so many games in a row.
Yeah, they got improbably hot, and the teams that ahead of them got improbably cold, you know. So it was a lot had to happen, but you still didn't make it. So I was right.
Game.
Yeah.
So does that mean the Seahawks are in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we play on Saturday.
They won.
Say that again.
Green Bay won. the Seahawks would not have been in the playoffs?
Correct.
That
Are you
seems odd to me.
this now?
What?
Your daughter literally explained this to you.
No, but I understand. But that's now I'm thinking about it. I was like, oh, whatever. I don't give a shit. But now I'm like, how does that? How does a game that they're not playing affect whether they're in it or not?
Because there's only so many playoff spots, and the records determine who goes to the playoffs.
But didn't the Bills and the Packers have the exact same like 8-8 record?
No, no.
Oh well, never mind.
Why? How did you get the Bills? Are you talking about the Seahawks?
I meant the Lions. I meant the Lions.
No, the Lions and the Seahawks have the same record. They were both 9-8, but the Seahawks went to the playoffs over the Lions because the Seahawks beat the Lions this year. They played head to head, and so they used that as a tiebreaker. The Packers ended up going 8-9. However, if the Packers had won, they would have gone 9-8, and then they would have had the tiebreaker over the Seahawks because they had a better. They didn't play head to head, but they had a better record among common opponents, or whatever the next tiebreaker was.
Sports talk on the Cavalry.
I know.
The thing, folks.
That's what everyone's up for.
Does it count as sports talk when it's one guy explaining to the other guy how sports works on the Cavalry?
Just your daughter explaining it to you, and then me just trying to confirm to you what she's already explained to you.
Right.
Right. I have to dumb it down for. Well, the this is all fine because I have like the best topic ever. I might have my greatest topic of all time.
Well, let's get into it. Let's.
Want to get into it? Can I get into it?
Yes.
All right. So, you watch a lot of movies, TV shows, as I do.
Sure.
And a lot of times, someone will want to murder someone. And, there, you know, in the movies, there's a lot of ways to murder somebody. You shoot them, you can, you know, push them off a cliff, whatever.
But you cut the brakes.
What's that?
You can cut their brakes.
Cut their brakes. That's a classic. Although, I also think, like, what a low percentage chance of murdering someone.
You don't see that much anymore.
Because you cut their brakes and they're like, okay, you need them to like basically get on the freeway before they realize they have no brakes.
We're just gonna rear end the car parked behind them.
What a great point. I've never really thought about this before. But like, you really have to be so confident they're just going straight to the freeway with no red lights, no stop signs,
no slowing down,
nobody backing out of somebody else's driveway. And then, I mean, so you basically, what is there, like a 1% chance they die, 5% chance they die from that? And then you have to, there's like a 95% chance they survive. And then there's going to be a big investigation into who cut their fucking brakes. What a dumbass way to kill somebody. I've never thought about that before, but you're right. On the power rankings of killing somebody, cutting their brakes is like so low.
Oh.
But I have another way that's bad. Right. Smothering someone with a pillow.
Yeah.
Here's what I need backup on. It's impossible to kill somebody with a pillow. Impossible. I've seen it so many times in the movies and mob shows and everything. They smother them with a pillow. Let me tell you something. You can't. I'll give you 1,000 chances. You can tie my hands to the side of the bed.
Oh, really?
Many pillows as you want. You can't kill me with a goddamn pillow.
Why? You'll breathe through it or you'll turn your head?
You breathe through it. It's not like a plastic bag. It's a pillow. In it. You just like I could stick my mouth open and I could turn my head from side to side. There's always going to be air. I mean, really picture it. You're going to die from a pillow on your face. It's impossible.
Yeah, I think.
Imagine, Johnny, really sit there and imagine me shoving a pillow on your face and you're just going, well, I guess this is it.
And let me grab a pillow here.
Do it. Because I have an addendum to this.
Okay. Here we go.
Oh, we have a show themed pillow here. Great. Perfect.
Yeah. All right,
Now,
hold on.
as hard as you can against your face. Watch he passes out.
I just die. Johnny?
What an ending. What a final episode.
I could almost breathe better with some pillow.
Opening.
Maybe this is a different kind of pillow, but man.
Yeah. So I was ranting about this morning to Heidi, who was trying to sleep in, and I just like couldn't stop talking. I was just in my head. I was like, "You just couldn't do it." And she's like, "Couldn't do what?" She's like half asleep. Like, you just couldn't kill someone with a pillow. She's like, "What are you talking about?" And so I kept talking about it, and finally she was like, "Well, let's try it." And I don't know if that was like her like, I'd be happy to murder him right now with a pillow if it's possible. But we tried it. And we have multiple pillows. And I was like, I've got a safe. I'm gonna tap you out if I really feel like I'm gonna go down.
Mm-hmm.
You have to let go if I tap you, I said. And we have like we have the my pillow. The crazy guy. Yeah. Let me tell you something. Great pillow. You can say what you want about the guy. There's a reason why he's a billionaire. Those pillows are great. So we have the my pillow, and then we also have like one of those memory foam, like, and the my pillow was like, I was like, I don't even feel.
It's like you got a straw in your mouth.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, I'm breathing better. It's like I got a respirator on. Forget. And she's putting her whole weight on it, like really trying to kill me with the pillow. Impossible. And the memory foam one was I was scared of that one because that's dense. You know what I'm talking about? Like, and it's so the whole idea of it is like it contours. So I was like, oh, it's gonna like make a suction cup around my face. Same thing though. I could breathe,
Fine.
breathe fine.
Okay.
I probably could have gone an hour. And that's the other thing. It's like, okay, maybe you could kill somebody it would take like hours. You would have to be like, you would die from a Charlie horse before the other person would die from lack of oxygen. So next time you see that in a movie or a show, call bullshit. And I also would like anyone listening to this, or if you know any like criminal justice experts, it's like, has it ever actually happened?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like if it's happened in real life.
Has it? Maybe the only thing I was thinking of is like if you were so infirmed, like if you're in the hospital.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So like majority of the times you see it's like an old person, they're already asleep, and then someone, or it's like a mercy killing, like, oh, I'm doing them a favor so they can suffer. I'm gonna just
But in their defense, in my defense, when I've seen them do it to an old person or a mercy killing, there's always a big struggle. Like their hands are going like this, there's like a big flail.
Yeah.
Like if you start flailing, you're gonna survive.
Yeah, you're gonna make it. Just open your mouth.
Just open your mouth. You'll be fine. Don't panic.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. That is a good topic because
it's my best topic I've ever come up with. And then, like in The Sopranos, he kills. Spoiler alert! If you haven't seen The Sopranos,
that's fine.
Of course.
I mean, I didn't see the last couple seasons, but that's fine.
Well, this is a spoiler if you don't want to hear it.
No, I'll hear it.
But I'll just say Tony kills someone by like they get in an accident. It's gonna be bad, so he's already like on his way out. So Tony just he like literally holds his nose closed and then covers his mouth with his hand.
Oh, okay.
Like that I could see more than the pillow.
Is the guy like weak?
Damage? Yeah. Well, he's a strong guy, but he's like been in a horrible accident. So I mean, that I can see more.
Yeah, that
I'm already struggling to breathe, but I just contend no one's ever been killed with a pillow. That's my contention.
That's good. Oh man. See, that's such a good topic. My topic's gonna seem like fucking diarrhea town.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. I really want to bury you.
It's my turn for the backpack zippers. Which again is not a bad topic. You just
Can I tell you something? That topic comes up in my daily life multiple times a day because of this stupid backpack that we still use for my daughter. And today, just a good example. Today, Heidi said, I swear on my life, this is what she said. I go, we're packing up to go on this trip. We're going to Palm Springs, and my daughter's staying at my parents in Seattle. That's why I'm recording from Seattle. And
Mhm.
I'm like, where do you want me to put this? I don't know. It's a sound machine. I was like, where does the sound machine go? She goes, put it in the, and she pauses for a second. She goes, put it in the silly pocket. I was like, oh, the silly pocket, of course.
Yeah, what pocket is that?
It was just like one of the, there's nothing silly about it. It was just like one of the zip, you know what I mean?
I have a pocket with a clown face on it.
No, it was just like one of the, but you just run out of ways to describe these. So that was a silly pocket.
Okay.
What's your bullshit, stupid?
All right, here's my fucking dumb, lazy, half-assed piece of shit topic. But I do believe it. I do believe it. And maybe you're gonna laugh at me and be like, "Of course, Johnny, it's a big joke. Nobody took it seriously." I don't think that anyone is a flat earther. I don't think that's a real thing.
I like this one.
People claim that they are. I think it's for attention
I
because
love.
it's ridiculous. Am I wrong?
No, I love it, and I don't think it's a bad. I think it's a great topic because the only people who are more annoying than the flat Earth people, because you're right. I think I absolutely think you're right. They're 100%. They're doing it for attention, and they're doing it to tell you I have an open mind, or hey, I just like to read this shit, and I'm just open to So they're just trying to signal to you that they're a certain type of person or something.
Yeah, like I go against the grain. Well,
But the only people who are more annoying than the flat earthers are the ones who get like too upset about yeah, and then they start like explaining how do you explain the tides? How do you explain satellites? Yeah, we fucking know that it's not actually a flat earth. Like they're not looking for evidence.
yeah.
It's clearly not an evidence-based hobby. It's like professional wrestling. Like just let them have their little
A little pretend I'm interesting thing about them.
yeah, there's probably a lot of I bet the Venn diagram of pro wrestling fans and flat earthers is pretty robust.
Yeah, you know what it's like? It's like have you ever been in like an argument with Heidi and just like either right away or pretty early on, you know that you're wrong or not, but you're like,
Yeah.
I'll keep pushing this, whatever. It's just something to do. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm going to see if you can out argue me. I mean, we both know I'm wrong, but let's just.
I have a friend like that. Well, I'll tell you, Mike Cummings is like that. It was just on the show. Mike Cummings is like that. He just likes to fight. He just wants to argue. And so if you said like, "Oh, I think that gas stoves are the best," and he'd go, "Well, electric stoves are better because of this, that, this, and I'll tell you why." And then there's, "You're a fucking idiot if you think a gas stove." But if I just started the conversation by saying, "I think these electric stoves are the best," he go, "Ah, you stupid! You can't cook. The gas stove is the best." He just will always take the opposite of whatever you just said.
He just likes the debate.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he is 100% like that, and I think you're right. It's like the flat Earth is like it's like a personality. And I hate to say this because I love this movie, but like loving the Big Lebowski became like a whole like personality
Mm-hmm.
a replacement for a personality for a while. Like everybody was like, it was their whole life and everything. And I love the movie and I could quote the whole thing and I've seen it like a billion times and everything, but I recognize also that it was very annoying and there's like a Lebowski fest and it might have gone too far, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like that, you know. Everybody's got to have a little thing. I don't judge people either because like I do stand up, so it's a very distinct, interesting thing about me that people find kind of fascinating at parties, and it's like very easy for me to separate myself from huge swaths of other people because I go, yeah, you don't get it. You're not a stand up, you know. There's like less than like 1% of the world has probably ever done it. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah, but how is that compared to? I mean, flat earther. They're just
well, because I guess a comparison that if you go to a party and you want to say something about yourself that nobody else can say, I can say I'm a stand up and they can say I believe the earth is flat.
yeah.
Makes it more interesting, you know?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'd rather be a stand up. I'd rather be a stand up.
Yeah, obviously you'd rather be. I mean, this is the coolest job ever.
It really is. We are just better people.
We record our old material every couple of years and
Yeah, it's fun to dust it off and be like, hey, some of this isn't bad.
no, I know. You know, I just remembered like one of my like best jokes. I had to do this. I told you I do those on that Holland ship. You have to really like dig for like old material, you know? And I was stressing. I really pulled out some old stuff. And then there was like this whole bit. It was a bit I did on Conan, you know, and I totally forgot about it. And then we went to Boston, and I saw these ducks. These on at the park. There are these. There's this book called "Make Way for the Ducklings." It's this famous book, and they have statues of it at Boston Common. And when we went, my dad wanted to take Ginger there and stuff. So we go and look at them and go, and I had this whole bit about him reading me that book and me not remembering and this whole stuff. And I was like, oh, I got this whole other, I saw, and I was like so happy. I was just walking on air the rest of the day. I was like, I got this whole other killer bit. I cannot wait to stop and use somewhere. I haven't told it in years. I don't think I've told it since COVID.
What is the bit?
About mispronouncing
Oh yeah.
words from children's books.
You did do that on the cruise ship though, because I remember
That was pre-COVID. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That was one of the jokes that I told Aaron.
Yeah. So I used to do it on the cruise ships and stuff because it was like this nice, clean
Yeah.
bit. And I was like, oh man, I haven't told that in a long time. I cannot wait.
Yeah. Oh, that's always a nice treat. And you're like, oh,
Yeah. It's almost as good as writing new material.
right, almost.
Yeah. All right. Like we said, should we call our shot? Keep it short.
Yeah, keep it short. We don't want them to get sick of us.
No. Thanks everybody for listening. I got this show in Bend, January 21st.
January 21st.
Please. We're selling tickets. Tickets are moving, so you want to get on board. Get your tickets, andrewcomedy.com. Johnny, what else?
Crossroads in Platteville, Wisconsin, Saturday the 4th, formerly the Arthur House. Great fun gig. It's like a supper club house type old restaurant in the middle of nowhere. So I don't think anyone that's within proximity of it will be hearing.
Almost sold it. We almost went full just professional, strong, come from a place with strength. And then you said middle of nowhere. I don't think any of you will ever come.
Well, this weekend I'm at Mason City Limits, but
you're not gonna. That's
2 days ago from people hearing this. So that's all right.
Well, that's it. Thank you for listening. We're about to do post-show banner, so you got to be on the Patreon to listen to post-show banner. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Cavalry.